Ever wonder what Fusion actually does? Let's unlock it together in this simple Fusion tutorial. Even if you've never opened the Fusion page before, you'll be amazed at what you can create. Follow along with the downloadable asset below, and we will dive into the magic of DaVinci Resolve together. First thing you're going to want to do is grab your image and put it onto the timeline. The image has a link from Pexels, which is a free download service, in the description below. We're going to drag this out for just a few seconds and we can trim it down later. With that, we're going to go over to the Fusion page. Once in the Fusion page, we're going to be working with the image that you just had on your timeline. In the Fusion page, you have the ability to look at two different viewers at the same time, the left viewer and the right viewer, and that is controlled by this selector right here. If you were to select that, then that will change from two viewers to one viewer. And when we go here on your tabs, you will see that there are two viewer selections, one left viewer and one right viewer. You can select whichever one you want, and that will bring up the viewer that you're looking at. Right now we're looking at the output viewer, which is the left viewer. Since we're not going to be having an output in multiple views, we're just going to work with a single viewer. We're going to go and drop a text node down onto the composition, and with that you will notice that this is a mask, which is basically an input to the text, and this is the output to the text. A lot of these are going to have different nodes, are going to have different inputs. Some are going to be foregrounds, some will be backgrounds, but all of them have an output. We're going to take our output and take it to our medium. A medium is the picture that we had on our timeline, and when you connect that, it's going to automatically create a merge. A merge is something that will actually create a link between the text and the picture. We're going to select the right view to see what is in the viewer. So when we modify our text, we're going to see it immediately on the viewer. So if we go to the text itself and we go over to the text box in the inspector, we can type in whatever it is that we want, and we see it immediately on the picture because we have the output selected on the merge for viewer number 2. You will see that in Fusion, a lot of the information that you have will be the same as in the edit page and other pages. So if you go to the text and then you go over to the inspector, you will see that all of these are basically the same as you would see in the edit page. So from there, we're going to change our color. For this, we're just going to go with something a green. We're then going to increase the size. As you're doing this, you can see real time what it looks like in our editor right here. In the Fusion, we're going to select our text node. In the text node, we're going to go over to the layout tab inside of our inspector. With the layout tab there, you will see center X and center Y. Center X is side to side horizontally and Y is up and down. You will see right here that there is a handle and it will change to white. You can take that handle and move it to where you want your final image, or in this case, word, to appear. So you're going to move your playhead to where you want it to be fully appeared on the screen when the time head gets there. So we're going to take this and we're going to just drag it up until we get about right here. If you see the word change, like you have this outline, that's within a safe area. So you don't really want to have too much in the safe area. So we're going to drop it down to the end. You can position this anywhere you want, left and right and up and down. In this case, we're just going to leave it as it is. Now, what we want to do is we want to make it actually like it is emerging from the lake and going up. So we're going to take our transform with our playhead at the point where you want the text to be fully revealed, you will then take and make a keyframe. And with the keyframe having been made, we're going to mask this out when we drop the letters into the lake. So we're going to want to create a mask, which is a rectangle. You're going to take the output of the rectangle and input it to the input of the text. You can see that the word lake has already been disappeared. So we're going to take and make this just a little bit bigger so that it covers it. And we're going to drop that all the way down to the shoreline, to the beach. We are then going to invert that so that you can see the word lake. From there, we're going to take and move your playhead back to 0. And when you go to 0, we're going to then select the text, and then we're going to drop the lettering all the way down till it's completely hidden, and that will automatically create a keyframe. So when you play this back, you will see the letters emerge out of the lake. If your goal is to only have your words come out of the lake or any other object, you can consider your Fusion tab page done. And if you go back over to your Edit tab and push play, you will see that it does exactly like it does on the Fusion page. If this is what you want, then it's all done for you. Remember, with the text, you can always go and do everything that you do in the edit page for text. You can just go in there, you can create an outline, do whatever you want. It's the exact same thing that you would do in the edit page, but for this, we're not going to go into that. Now we're going to actually do the reflection in the lake. So we're going to basically have the exact same things. So if you want, you can just either copy them down, or you can just get some practice and just move it down. Move down the rectangle, move down the text, and then put a merge in. When you see the lines change color, your merge is connected. To make sure that it's connected, wiggle it. You can connect your output of the text to your merge, your rectangle, the output of your rectangle to your text. So that creates exactly what you have on the other side. With this, we're going to go back over to the text, and we're going to then create the same text as you had before. We're going to create this text the same size as it is on the other one. The other is 3.556. If you do not see the new text that you just put on here, the chances are is you still are looking at the output from the first merge. So if you look at the output from the second merge, you will then see that the word is there. The only thing is it is cut off by your mask. So in the mask, you're going to, for now, we're just going to turn it off. To turn off the mask, we're just going to go up to the mask and highlight it, and then go over and just click on this red button that turns that node on and off. So right now with it off, we can see that it is not aligned. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go back over to your text, and you're going to want to align this better. So just try to squeeze it in to make it look like it is exactly the same. Since it's going to be a reflection, you want it to be the same. You can either do that, or you can copy the numbers from the previous text. So now when you go back over and you turn on the rectangle or the mask node, click the red dot, and you can turn it back on. While you're here, you're going to actually create this and make it a little bigger and make it fit more by dragging these handles left, right, up, and down. And then you're going to take your mask and you're going to drag it all the way down to the water line, or in this case, the shoreline. And once it's there, just let go. Now you want to make sure that you are selected on the output of the merge too, so that everything is visible. Highlight the text, and then you're going to drop the Y down until you see it and you get good distance. So what you're looking for is basically you can align the word to here to make it actually look like it's about the same length from top to bottom, which is about there. As you can see, it's no big deal, but you look at the rectangle is cutting off the bottom of your mask, so you just want to make it a little bigger and then bring it back down to the shoreline with that in the position that you want it in. So once you go back to your text, create a keyframe on the XY, and that will be your reveal point. From there, you're going to drop this all the way back down to 0, and then you're going to get rid of the word right above it. So just as it starts to emerge, it will automatically create another keyframe. So now when you play it back, it's going to emerge both top and bottom. Now that it's there, you basically, the white is not a good color for this. So you go back over to your text in the inspector, and green and blue make a teal color. So we're just going to basically drop this down to a lighter teal color and select that. So it kind of just barely shows up, and that'll be okay. So if you were to replay this again, you will see that it looks a lot better with the color having been changed. You can change this to any color you want. You can change the size that you want. You can even add a blur if you want to actually blur it out. To add a blur, just highlight the word text 2, Control Shift, and type in blur and select it. That will automatically add it in the line. Then you can go over to the blur size and you could make it blur just a little bit. If you are trying to be exact and make everything look good, you can see that these are straight up and down. There's no side to side curve to this. So there's no current or water movement in this lake. So everything is going to be reflected as being straight. Now that you have this, you can see that there is one thing that is missing. And what is missing in this is the lake on top and bottom are the same. It's not actually a reflection yet. So take your transform node and you add it into your node tree. Make sure that it's connected by jiggling it. Once it's there, you're going to go over to the transform control and shift it top and bottom. So now you find that you have this on the top and it needs to be to the bottom, which will then change your mask. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to drag your playhead over to where the first one was. You do not want a keyframe here, so turn that off. You can then select the arrow that's pointing to the left. What this is this is representing that there is an additional keyframe to the left. If you click that, it will automatically go to the left. As you see, there is another keyframe to the left, and that is our starting point. While we are here on the 30, which is our point, we're going to want to take and drag our text down to the shoreline so that it will be where it's going to be completely revealed. So to do that, we're going to turn off the rectangle, which is our mask, and go back, and we're going to get rid of that keyframe, and we're going to completely drag it down to where it's mirroring the one above it. So there's a little bit of a gap there between the tree and the E. That will automatically set our keyframe. Now we're going to take our playhead to 0, and then we're going to move our text up to the shoreline. Now when we turn our mask back on, we're going to be getting rid of the first text. To get rid of the first text is just very simple. You're going to go over and you just select invert. So now when you play this, you should get both texts coming up at the same time, and they both look mirrored to each other. That will give you what you're looking for here. If you want to change anything, you can. If you want to change the text, all that stuff, it's all up to you. Thanks again for watching, and join us again in our next video. We're going to go through and will explain and show you each button within Fusion and each group within Fusion. Until then, see you then.